Hey there, quickie folks! Today we're going to draw some parallels between two amazing Batmen. Matt Reeves is doing a remarkable job by taking the legacy of Batman forward in live action. Robert Pattinson's Batsy is quite different from all the past iterations. I don't even need to state how different he is from Ben Affleck, George Clooney, Val Kilmer, and Michael Keaton's Batman. He can also be differentiated from Christian Bale's Batman. For instance, his bat voice is nothing like Bale's voice.
Where are they? Find the gun!
He is much more brutal than Bale.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
But if there's any Batman who comes close to him in terms of similarities, then it is none other than Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. Like Nolan, another talented and highly respected director is coming up with the Batman. In fact, Matt Reeves is also giving us a trilogy like Nolan.
Yes!
But there are some other core similarities between Reeves' take on Batman and Nolan's Batman. Before we point these out, it would be amazing if you guys would hit the subscribe button. And we've got some cool stuff on our channel, so be sure to check that out as well. Okay now, the similarities. First up, we've got the grounded real-world approach. Nolan had a very practical take on his Batman. After Schumacher's fantasy world Batman,
That's just what I said.
Nolan grounded Batman to a level where we could actually relate to him. He wanted to make us believe that Batman could exist in the real world.
Where are you?
But the plot of Batman Begins had factors like fear gas and everything, which sort of made the film rather unrealistic. Anyway, the point is that Matt Reeves is also coming up with a very grounded and gritty story. In fact, he is going one step further to make us believe that Batman can truly exist in the real world. And his realism is actually coming out even more than Nolan's take.
I thought my jokes were bad.
For the next similarity, we've got the Batsuits. Christian Bale's Batsuit came from Lucius Fox. But what's important is that it was made up of several hardened Kevlar components. They could take bullets.
Sorry.
Put that thing away before you hurt yourself.
The utility belt had several efficient gadgets.
Does it come in black?
And yes, the suit did come in black. We've got a similar case with Pattinson. His suit is also entirely black and comes with a utility belt that would have several gadgets. It also has several Kevlar components, but this time it is more durable and can take several bullet rounds from a close range very easily. It's a much better suit because its components are actually lesser in number, and that means there are lesser gaps that would make Batman vulnerable. For instance, Talia was able to slip a knife between the Kevlar plates, but there shall be no knife in Pattinson anywhere on his body. Ultimately, what I mean is that both these suits are very practical and can be designed for efficient use in battles. Next up, we have their armory. Aside from the grappling guns and advanced gadgets, Bale and Pattinson share a similarity between their vehicles.
Oh, now you're just showing off.
Bale got a giant bulletproof tank with a bat pod. Pattinson also has an armored Batmobile and a Batcycle. But they are more toned down as the new Batmo is just an advanced American muscle and his bike is also a modified motorcycle. Still, the similarity is that both these Batmen have the same vehicles, unlike Batfleck. He had other vehicles like the Flying Fox, the Nightcrawler,
My turn.
and the giant War Machine. Pattinson doesn't have a plane just yet, but I guess he'll match that with Bale in the sequels. I also caught a similarity with the Batmobile Scene. When the Joker launched an RPG at Harvey Dent's convoy, Batman used his thrusters to launch in the air and take the hit at the backside of the Batmobile. And I'm sure you'd get a similar vibe here, as Pattinson also emerges flying through the flames while chasing the Penguin. Another short commonality is the bullet shot. Check out this shot of The Dark Knight Rises. Batman comes running into gunfire, and we get this threatening shot of him taking down bad guys. And as we've seen in the Batman trailer, this film will feature a similar threatening shot. Only this time, Batman is taking bullets point blank instead of dodging them. And I have to say, this one looks even more badass. The next thing that's common between Bale and Pattinson is the detective work. We saw Bale's Bruce Wayne spending enough time investigating scenarios. He used his resources to recreate and find a fingerprint on a bullet.
And there's the thumbprint he left when he pushed around in the clip.
But the detective work was mostly a part of the second movie.
Fair enough.
The Batman, on the other hand, is a full-blown detective tale in a noir setup. Batman is supposed to be the world's greatest detective, and this film will establish exactly that. Beyond this, I've spotted another sequence that seems to be inspired by The Dark Knight, and it is the Fight Club. When Batmobile went after Sal Maroni, he took out a lot of his gang members in a club, and we're probably going to see something similar in the Batman when Pattinson goes after the Penguin. As for the next similarity, we've got their no-killing rule.
Have all these rules and you think they'll save you.
Bale's Batman constantly abided to his sacred no-killing rule. Yes, he probably did a few things that would have led to the death of his opponents, but those scenes weren't implied for killings. And now, Pattinson's Batman is also applying the same rule after Batfleck didn't care for it as much. In fact, the no-killing would probably be a central part of Pattinson's story. He'd go through an inner conflict when the Riddler probably pushes him over the edge. He might still decide against killing, although there's no denying the fact that he is much more brutal than Batmobile. He may not kill people, but they'd surely wind up in hospitals with untreatable injuries for several months after suffering a beatdown from him. Okay, next up, we have a very similar looking Gotham City. We spotted the Queensboro Bridge of Manhattan in The Dark Knight Rises, and it can also be seen in the Batman's trailer. The city appears to be more on the realistic side, showing us a northeastern, New York-influenced location with a few stylized elements. That's exactly similar to Nolan's Gotham City. And finally, we've got the age factor. Christian Bale was 30 years old when he shot his scenes for Batman Begins, and he played a very young Batman who was in his 20s.
Who knows, Master Wayne? You start pretending to have fun.
Robert Pattinson was around 34 when he began filming his scenes for the Batman, and he is also playing a young Batman. It isn't an origin story, but his Batman is in his second year of crime fighting, so he is obviously in his 20s as well. Okay, that's all from the list of commonalities between Reeves and Nolan's take on Batman. Both of them are very practical modern-day setups.
You're gonna break your one rule.
I'm considering it.
But I'd say that Pattinson's Batman is actually an extension of Batmobile. He is doing something similar, but probably even better. And that's my honest opinion. Did you spot any other similarities between these two Batmen? Let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!